Hi, I'm Maysha with As Long as You're Breathing, and we're continuing our series on the twin flame journey of the heart for healing, wholeness, and happiness. But today we're going to focus on the twin flame journey, bringing out the very best of me, because that's what all relationships do. And that's what I want everyone to have, as long as they're breathing.
As long as you're breathing, keep living. As long as you're breathing, keep living. As long as you're breathing, keep living. As long as you're breathing.
All right, you all. Yes, I grew up as a singer-songwriter, and so I incorporate it into everything I do. It's very much a part of who I am, and I enjoy it very much. So hope y'all like music because I add it to everything. As a matter of fact, I'm adding it in today. You see, this episode is called Twin Flame Journey. You bring out the very best of me. And what I tend to do is I get very passionate about every topic I discuss. And I usually end up writing a song to go with it. And that's what I've done with this episode as well. Now, I actually wrote this song a while back. But as I said, every relationship should bring out the very best of us. It doesn't have to be a twin flame journey to do that. But that is exactly what a twin flame journey should do. So today, what we're going to discuss is, of course, specifically twin flame. But I'll relate it back to every relationship in your life, including your relationship with yourself, because we are always in relationship, whether we know it or not. And so I want to start today with the song that I wrote, You Bring Out the Very Best of Me.
Now I see that the test for me was to learn that you're just perfect for me. Not because you're the rest of me, but because you bring out the very best in me. When I first laid eyes on you, it was a crash that derailed my heart. Knowing I belong with you, well, it was obvious right from the start. But the how and when and why had surely eluded me. 'Cause the answers were not common like you, like us. They were extraordinary. Now I see that the test for me was to learn that you're just perfect for me. Not because you're the rest of me, but because you bring out the very best of me. Yes, now I see that the test for me was to learn that you're just perfect for me. Not because you're the rest of me, but because you bring out you bring out you bring out
All right. As I said, I am a singer songwriter, and I do believe that people will listen to music sometimes when they won't listen to you talk, and that's okay. Music is, well, it has a frequency, each song does, that touches people. And the beat, the rhythm, those things are vibration as well. So they reach people as well. So music is a wonderful gift that is energy in motion that we can use to relay our messages, that we can use to help people heal, that we can use to help people see what they need to heal and take them to the point of healing. Music is just an amazing gift, period. If nothing else, sometimes just the rhythm and the beat of it is what we need to pull ourselves up into a place where we are ready to even heal or we're ready to even consider any of it. Sometimes it takes that to get us there. So I use music a lot, and I'm very thankful for that gift. As a matter of fact, I consider it my first gift that I ever realized that I had, and probably the one I've used the most in my life, to be perfectly honest, for my own healing. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll go through it again at the end. I'll use that for the ending instead of my usual, as long as you're breathing, which of course I wrote as well, because it's truly how I feel. It's truly what I believe, that life is meant to be beautiful. Now, does that mean that storm clouds aren't going to happen? No. But there's this notion that we came here for life to be Life University, that this is Earth University, that we're supposed to go through these really tough lessons, that we're being tested all the time. No, no, we didn't. Actually, when we incarnated to begin with, our bodies were such that we were meant to be healthy, happy, whole, and complete. Now, what happened to change all of that had to do with the fact that all of our energy centers that are required for that, we stopped using. We became low vibrational because of that. We're meant to be high vibrational beings. We're meant to come here and have happy ever after, the honeymoon effect, heaven on earth. Now, it's true that when we got here, we wanted to experience life. And so, yes, there were probably some things we wanted to learn, but we didn't want those lessons to linger on and on and on and on and on. We didn't want that at all. We're supposed to be able to quantum leap those things. I taught on this extensively yesterday about how we go straight to what is the lesson, and we forgive everything. Go to the breath so we calm ourselves down, figure out what it is we need to release, and then put our energy back in the present. If we practice energy management, we can do that, and we can quantum leap things. We don't have to stay stuck in any situation. Now, folks, I'm preaching to the choir here. I stayed stuck in situations for years. So I'm not coming at this and saying, and I've got all the answers and I've done it all perfectly. The reason I can tell you all of this is because I haven't done it all perfectly. I am the quintessential bear in a china shop. If there was a hard way to learn it, that's the path I took, okay? So whenever I come to you and I tell you about all of this, I'm speaking from experience, as well as the fact that I am channeled a great deal from my guides and from Source, and I've lived a great deal of it, and I have worked very hard to learn it as well. But now, all of those situations that I lived and got stuck in, I wasn't meant to get stuck in any of them. Societal programming, my fight, flight, and freeze being turned on, all of those things kept me there. And I didn't know I had an energetic body. You see, that is part of what we lost over the years, is even though now we're to the point where, yes, we can activate all of those chakras again. We can be transcending and using all of our resources to be quantum leaping and healing and moving down our timeline the way we were meant to. But we had to first know about it. And that's energy management. And so that's why I teach it for everything. And the reason I say we're always in relationship is the reason energy management works is we're made of energy. And everything is energy. Everything is interconnected. So we are always in relationship. When one thing happens, it affects another. So when we all came here as a human collective, we knew that there were going to be butterfly effect. What one person did was going to affect another. So it's all reverse engineered. And we came here with, this is who I'm going to be. This is how I'm going to show up. And I'm going to do my total self-care. So that is how I show up. So as an individual, which is valued by the whole, I'm going to have my heaven on earth that I agreed to and planned before I got here. And then each one of us is going to do that. And because each individual is getting everything they came here to get, the collective is getting everything it came here to get. And we have order instead of chaos. That vibrational frequency is unconditional love. And unconditional love does not mean I'll love them no matter what they do to me. No. Unconditional love means I am not handing you a list of, these are the things I want you to do so you make my life complete. No. No one is meant to do that. But our relationships can bring out the very best in us. That's what all of them are meant to do. And that's what we're meant to do in return. And the way we do that is we understand, we hand them this list and say, this is what you can expect of me. And then we live up to it. Perfectly? No. None of us are perfect. And especially before we were consciously aware or energetically awakened to this knowledge. When we were functioning without this knowledge, we were falling way short of it. But thankfully, we were getting it right lots of times too then. We were not totally failing life, but life can be so much better now because we know this. The things I got stuck in for years, I'm no longer stuck in, finally, because I know this. And my life is moving forward because I know this. Now, this is energy management or true self-care or total self-care. It's not putting up a bunch of boundaries, although we do need boundaries. It's not putting up a bunch of walls. It's all about me and it's going to be my way because I've got to take care of me. When we do those things, that is the vibrational frequency we get in, and that is what we're going to attract back into our lives. Yeah. What we want to attract into our lives is how we want to be treated. So if we want to be treated a certain way, that's what we want to attract into our lives, then guess what? Then we've got to treat people that way too. But before we can ever treat someone else a particular way, we've got to treat ourselves that way first. That is where our list of this is what you can expect of me comes from. And we determined all of this before we got here because by showing up in this way, that's how we attract the right experiences into our lives. So we can feel and be what we came here to feel and be. And all of that is happy, healthy, whole, and complete. When we don't practice energy management, that's how we end up energetically out of balance. And then we get physical illnesses, mental illnesses, emotional illnesses, spiritual crises. And that's what keeps us stuck. Now, we may well have written stories for ourselves that had some lessons in them. That's what life would be about. It's got to be interesting, right? We didn't come here for it to be boring. So if we knew we wanted to be, I don't know, a singer-songwriter who was going to do this for because it lights her up, and it does, well, then I was going to have to experience some of those things to understand them. Now, did I have to experience them as roughly as I did? Did I have to stay stuck in them as long as I did? No. But I didn't know about energy management. Now, all of those experiences have taught me things. They have been lessons for me. But none of those things were, I'm up here, I've got this list of bad things I've done before, so I've got to go down and have bad experiences to pay for it. No. It had nothing to do with paying for anything. It had to do with, I wanted to know this information to share with all of you. So I had to live some of it out. But the thing is, when we get stuck, that creates chaos instead of the order that we all need. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not plugged into my vibrational frequency. And if I'm not, then I don't show up on someone's timeline where I said I would. And that creates a butterfly effect. And the more and more of us that do that, the more and more chaos we have. And the more and more chaos the collective has, the human collective. And that's the situation we're in now. So that's why energy management is so very important for the individual and for the planet as a whole. All relationships function this way, and it starts with our relationship with ourselves. Because once we've determined that's how I want the world to treat me, therefore, if that's what I want in my life, that is what I have to show up as. First, I have to treat myself that way. I have to show myself that level of respect, love, care. And to do that, I have to look at, where am I at energetically? What do I want to feel, be, and experience in this lifetime? And we have to start releasing the things that are keeping us from doing that. And they're going to be past traumas, societal programming, expectations of others, the people in the cheap seats. The people in the cheap seats don't get to write your life. Your life, your story, you're writing it your way. You already did that, but now you're here and you're remembering it. You're getting signs along the way. Your intuition is lighting you up, saying, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. And we have transcended the mind, which is our guardian, which is only programmed, and it's programmed with a lot of bad programs, many, many good ones, but it's got some bad ones too. That's what we're releasing. So we have to transcend the mind, which is like, nope, stop. Let's don't do that. That doesn't look safe. And we have to say, shh, I heard you. You warned me. And I'm gonna consult with you. If there's anything you've got in your programming that I need to know, I'm gonna consult with you. You get your fair share of speaking up here. But let's check with the control tower. Let's check with the higher vibrational frequencies of ourselves and source. Everything is one. And let's see what they can see that we can't see. And let's get that information. Oh, wait, that's all confirming what I know, what my heart space knows, and what my gut knows. That this is the way. I still don't think so. Shh. Everybody else is in agreement. So shh. Okay, excuse me, my allergies this morning. Okay, well, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit, but I'm going to speak up when I need to. You do that. That's why you're here. But I'm sovereign over all of this, including you, and you don't get to keep me stuck. All right, but this doesn't feel incredibly comfortable to me. Well, no, it's not, because you're a computer and you've been programmed. And you haven't been here yet, so you don't know what this is going to be like. And once I get you there and you see how great it is, then you're going to be like, why did you take so long to do this? What were you thinking? And I'm going to say, it was you, not me. This sounds kind of schizophrenic, does it? It's not. This is the conversation that goes on within us energetically all the time. These are the energetic decisions. That is sovereignty over self that we need to be thinking through. We have access to our entire beingness now because we can activate all of our chakra system. We know about all of this. And so we can get in touch with, what did we come here to be, feel, and experience, and have that heaven on earth that we came here to have. But for it to happen, we each have to be showing up where we said we would show up, or the butterfly effect. I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and therefore somebody's here waiting on me, and they're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then because they're still waiting, they're not where they're supposed to be. And somebody else isn't experiencing what they're supposed to experience because of it. And that keeps the control tower very busy. It's a lot of chaos to manage. Not only that, but we're stuck and we're not enjoying life. We're not living it in great big capital letters like we're supposed to, like we came here to do in our own free will. Because that's the other thing that gets in the way is people like, I'm not going to have anybody tell me what my life's going to be. I'm going to create it myself. You already did. You already did. This is your free will we're talking about. And it's your own mind, your guardian, protector, that is telling you somebody's telling us what to do. And I don't like it. Well, that's because you're programmed and your programming is bad. That's why you follow your heart first. Go by your gut and have all these chakras activated, and you transcend the mind and you let the control tower help you. So you don't get stuck. That doesn't mean that if you've been stuck, you're somehow inferior to anybody else. Because if it did, I'm the most inferior person in the world. I have been an expert, folks, at being stuck. When you have a fight, flight, or freeze syndrome of any kind, getting stuck is what you do, and you do it very well. But this is how you turn that knob down. When you're an empath that's been overwhelmed by everyone else's emotions and the energy around you your whole life, and that has turned the knob up, this is how you turn that knob down and take sovereignty over self. And this is epidemic in the world right now. And the reason it's epidemic in the world right now is because this is a time in history when we're moving into the dawn of the age of Aquarius, when the planet's vibration was going to raise. So that these energetic beings who, for some reason, lost the knowledge about being connected and using all of their chakras and transcending the mind, and allowed societal programming and the guardian, the protector, to take over. But this is a time when the planet was going to raise in vibration and people were going to be awakening to this knowledge. Many call it spiritual awakening. I think there's nothing wrong with that term, but when you say that, it makes people think it's all woo-woo, or it makes people think it's about religion. It's not about any belief system. It's not magical thinking. It's energy. So I call it energetic awakening. We had our energetic awakening. We are now aware of the fact through quantum physics, we are all energy. And this is how life works. We finally understand, folks, how life is supposed to work. When I was a little girl, I would get up on my sliding board because it was as close as I could get to heaven. My daddy was an atheist, so there wasn't supposed to be anything there, but something about me knew he was wrong, that there was something else that I could get information from. Well, that's the collective, the entire collective, the universe, the entire consciousness, which has been expanded, because that's what we're living for. Energy is experiencing itself consciously and expanding the consciousness. And values our uniqueness, because each of us plugging ourselves into our unique place that we decided on is what takes chaos into order and just keeps expanding each human collective that is here, and that just keeps expanding consciousness. So I knew there was something. And I was on the top of my sliding board as a little girl. Where are you? And I had no idea who I was asking for, because I didn't know if there was a God or not. It seemed reasonable to me that there was. Well, that's source, that's the divine, that's spirit, that's the universe to me. Who it is to you doesn't matter. It's not up to me, that's up to you. So there's no belief system here. But when I was a little girl, I was, where are you? And I don't understand how this world works. Please explain this to me so I can just get on with doing whatever it is I'm supposed to do, because I knew there was something and I can do it to the best of my ability and be the very best me I can be. Please explain it to me. And it took 56 years to get here and get it. But I do. Not only that, but I know who I was calling for. So you see, I wasn't calling for anyone to complete me, but I was calling out for someone to bring out the very best of me, because everything is about relationship. We are all in relationship at all times. And it's not just the twin flame journeys that matter, although they are huge, because they are a part of raising the vibrational frequency of this planet by being in high vibration themselves, and then being the model for everyone else to see how all relationships work, which is the 1 + 1 = 3 that I talk about all the time, where each one is whole and complete. They brought out the very best in each other. And then they formed another dimension of consciousness, a separate container for the relationship. And in that context, they can stay happy, healthy, whole, and complete, and use energy management just like they're using on themselves through the relationship to have healthy, happy, whole, and complete relationships, which now there's each of them amazing, that just created another dimension of consciousness for us all to experience from. And it's very high vibrational. So that's what Twin Flame are here to do, to bring out the very best of each other. And in union, create a whole new being. It's the two of them back together, still whole and complete and separate, shining, both of them shining in their own right, doing their energy management, their true self-care, their total self-care, but then treating their relationship that exact same way. We've added a whole new dimension to consciousness when we do that. And you don't have to be twin flame to do that. And I knew all of this as a little girl because this was my journey. This is what I came here to do. That's why all of this lights me up so much. That's why all of this lights me up so much. So twin flame journey is not about losing yourself in your twin. It's not about, oh my gosh, I was one with them. We came here separately though. Now if we get back together, I may lose me. No. All of this runner chaser phenomenon that's going on. And I don't even love those terms. I don't even love those terms in the least. I don't like them in the least. It puts such a negative connotation on both people. And neither person's doing anything wrong. The one who wants to be in a relationship isn't chasing anyone. They just understand that they're consciously aware that they're going to be an amazing couple. They're not chasing anything. They're just consciously aware, and they're stuck in, I know this and you don't. Why not? And so there's more conscious awareness for them to get to. We're going to talk about that. And then the runner isn't really running from anything. It's not like they're like, oh my God, there she comes again. I got to go. Although sometimes in the natural, it may be that way. But that's not really what's going on. Not really. They're not running from anything. But their consciousness isn't aware either of everything I'm saying to you. And their mind is like, I don't know about this. This is intense. Feels like we're going to lose ourselves. Well, if you're not practicing energy management, there's a good chance you will. In this song that I wrote, she says, the first time I laid eyes on you, I knew it was a crash that derailed my heart. That's what the person that I'm depicting in the song is. And I knew we were supposed to be together, but how, when, why, it eluded me. And it was not an ordinary path, I knew. I knew it was going to be extraordinary because we're both extraordinary. She was acknowledging, okay, we're not just two people passing in the night that light each other up. We're both extraordinary beings. And this was an extraordinary moment in time. And I know, well, she's probably thinking, I'm supposed to do something with that person. She knew there was that connection. That if they were both happy, healthy, whole, and complete, and nobody is ever totally that okay. So if you think, oh my God, I found my twin, now I got to get totally happy, healthy, whole, and complete so I can be with my twin. Everything's got to be just perfect so I can be with my twin. Well, you're never going to get there. That's what I was teaching about last night. No, we are flawed. We have to forgive ourselves and forge ahead to living with great big capital letters. We don't get to hit the stop button, stop the planet from spinning around and around. We don't get to spin it backwards, go back and save Lois Lane and start the planet back up and turn it now. It's not a Superman movie, and we don't need superhero capes to do this. We just need to be practicing energy management and be energetically awake and understand that perfection is not required. Perfection is not required. As a matter of fact, if you're practicing energy management, working things out together in any relationship, not just twin flame, any relationship, if you're both practicing energy management, communicating about things will get you to your healing, will move you on your timeline, will make you happy, healthy, whole, and complete so much faster because everything is about relationship. The fact that you're stuck and they're stuck in a place that is not happy, healthy, whole, and complete, that alone tells you us working on it on separate ends with no communication is not the way to get this done. Well, I got to take care of me first. Yes, you do. But at the same time, because the planet is still turning round and round and the timelines are still moving, and you've got other things down here to get into. And you're missing those. You're missing living in great big capital letters and loving in great big capital letters. You're missing all of that stuck. Again, I did this for most of my life. So I'm speaking from experience that I decided this is not what I'm going to do with my life. But I am going to take the fact that I did it and I'm going to turn it into something beautiful. Now that I am aware, I'm going to get myself into that vibrational frequency I'm supposed to be in. And I'm going to boldly tell the world, guess what? Life isn't at all what we were told it was. Doesn't make anybody bad. Everyone was telling us from the level of consciousness they knew at the time. So there's no need to, oh my God, look how the world screwed us over our whole lives. Look at the mess our lives are. If only we had known. No, there's no time for that. All of that is wasted energy. That is poor energy management. We could all get stuck in that, but then all that energy isn't here in living now, in the present, in great big capital letters. And there's no energy to put for what's coming next. There's no way to be looking at what do I need to be attracting to me? What do I need to catch? Because we're attracting whatever vibrational frequency we're in, we're attracting all sorts of things from that vibrational frequency. All right? So yes, it's true that we have specific things that are supposed to be coming toward us. No doubt about it. When we're in that vibrational frequency, we're going to be attracting those things in. But we're also going to be attracting other things in because we are energy. And that's how energy works. When you're in a certain vibrational frequency, when you're in a certain alignment, all the protons, electrons, neutrons, they're going to be coming toward you. So you have to be conscious and doing daily energy management. This is why it's not magical, folks, okay? This is why it's science, not magical. This is why we have to, our true self-care, our total self-care has to be very conscious, very proactive, not distracting. And there's nothing wrong with having entertainment. I'm not saying that. But when we distract ourselves all the time, woo, there went the protons, electrons, neutrons I was supposed to catch, and I didn't even know because I did not go within. I didn't know. I was distracted because I didn't want to face all of this. Been there, done that too. And we miss so much when we do that. But we are constantly attracting things to us. So we have to be doing our energy management. So we're like, you know what? I've got this and this in my life, and I'm so grateful for them still. And the energy that got them to me was gratitude. I was in my vibrational alignment, saw them, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that's there. That's mine. That's mine. It's lighting me up. That's mine. So I attracted it in. Now I want to keep that. That is working for me, and it's going to work for me my whole life. So I've got to keep enough space. I've got to hold space for that. That's a big phrase now. Will you hold space for me? I've got to hold space for that so that I've got the energetic space in my life to show gratitude for it. And then as I'm showing the gratitude for it, it's going to keep coming to me. But I get to have other things in my life too. And oh, there comes one. I want that one. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, I'll take that one. And oh, that one, hold on. I can't show gratitude for all of this. I may attract it all in, but something is going to go wrong because energetically, that's more than I can manage. I can't show gratitude to all of that. So maybe there's some stuff I can release. Maybe there's some old things that really aren't part of my life anymore. They were. Doesn't mean they were bad. Maybe they were, but maybe they weren't. Maybe they were just what fit with you energetically at the time. But you've moved down your timeline. You've been lit up. You got the brain out of the way and you went down your timeline. Your gut led you down the timeline. Your guides led you down the timeline. And now they're saying you've got to make space for this. You've attracted it in. You're in the vibrational alignment for it. You've attracted it in. You're lit up about it. And now you want to catch it. Well, if you want to catch it, you got to be prepared for it. There's got to be a place for it to plug into your life. Oh, you mean I got to change some stuff? Yeah, you got to change some stuff because life is always moving. It's dynamic. Energy flows. It is not meant to be stuck. Stuck energy is what causes physical illness, mental illness, emotional instability, and spiritual issues. And it's all got to do with our energetic management of our lives, our energy bodies. We get ourselves stuck in something, and stuck energy causes literal physical illness. Turns your fight, flight, and freeze button wide open. And believe me, you don't do anything when that happens. Your life gets stopped on a dime. And all the great big capital letters, you can be the perkiest, most high vibrational, naturally person in the world. Because I was born, gone to Akasha, I know, my vibration, I was born high vibrational. I was born to be lit up and doing this. This is who I am. And I love who I am. But being that knob turned up all the time, me not knowing how to manage this, I spent so much of my life trying to be who I am and not accomplishing it. Now, did I accomplish some great things? You bet you I did. Did I have some good things in my life? Absolutely, I did. But there were things along the way that I missed, and it caused butterfly effect. Other people missed them. There were things that, because of where I was at consciously in my awareness, that had I done it this way, that person wouldn't have been affected that way, and this wouldn't have happened. Now, I could get caught up in all of that and still be stuck there. I could be, okay, I'm consciously aware now. I'm doing my energetic management of my life, doing my energy management, my total self-care. Oh, but I just messed so many things up. Oh man, where I would be if I hadn't done that, where that person would be and where that person would be. And oh my gosh, what a mess I've got here. Yep, and you're going to keep it. You're going to keep it. Been there, done that too. When you get stuck in that energy, the message is going to keep perpetuating itself because guess what? That's the energy you're living in. No matter how high vibrational you are naturally, you are still living in a low vibrational stuck place. Now you may be on other planes of your life, other dimensions of your life, you may be manifesting and riding high. But in that part of your life, you're not. And that's affecting all the other parts of your life because of butterfly effect. So yeah, maybe you've got it all here and you've got it all there, but you know, and you're probably not letting the rest of the world see it. I've done that before. Talk about a mask wearer. I am the most open person that you're going to meet. I'll tell you all everything because I want you all to learn from it. But you talking about wearing a mask, I was damn good at it because I didn't want the world to see anything except this. Now I would talk about it openly that this isn't how I was all the time because I wanted them to understand that it's okay if you have something going on and you can get help and you can still live a great life. Except I wanted all that out there, but I sure didn't want them to see. But a lot of people don't even want to talk about it. Now I knew we couldn't have change unless we faced it, but I still didn't want anyone to see. I didn't want anyone to see the low vibrational parts. And I'm going to tell you how low vibrational they were. I would literally in the mornings find myself in the floor, screaming at myself, get up, get up, get up. You are not going to die here. Get up. Get up. Get up and face this. You're not going to die here. That's how low. And I would love to tell you that it was a day, a couple days. No. Many times in my life. Many times. And in the past, just a couple years ago, almost daily, get up. You are not going to die here. There is a way to do this. Get up. Get up. I also found myself saying, I didn't sign up for this. I'm not coming back to ever do this way again. Nobody should be doing it this way. And all of that's because my guides were trying to talk to me and channel to me, this isn't what life was. No, you didn't sign up for this. Life isn't supposed to be that. Start practicing energy management, although that's not the terms they used. Start doing it this way, and all of that will change. But I had so much societal programming. There's no cure for that. What are people going to think? Yes, you can do it, but you've got to do it this way, this way, this way. You've got to go through these steps and do it this way and do it all by yourself. Because if anybody helps you, well, then you were weak. Or, well, that's all you wanted them for. That's what they're going to think. So you can't ask for help. Oh, wait, now I did ask for help. And somebody's going to do it, but I got afraid. And so now they're mad at me and they're not going to help me anymore. No, because I got afraid. They're not going to help me anymore. So I'm not going to ask anybody else for help. Yeah, those kinds of things. All that gets us stuck. Now, I could still be ruminating and all of that. I could be here now and saying, well, I got me to a better place, but oh boy, look at what all I did. No, I'm not going to put my energy into that. I'm telling you all the bare bones of it now, so you all can say, oh, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Wow, she's admitting that? You wouldn't believe the days I've been in my car and I have just put my head on the steering wheel and just pounded it down over and over saying, I can't do this anymore. Beam me out of here, Scotty, or something to that effect. But I sure wouldn't tell people about it. She is. Why is she doing that? Because I am a bear in a china shop. And I'm proud of it. Those are all the mistakes I've made, and they weren't mistakes at all. They were consciously what I was aware of at the time, and I was doing the best I could. Now, were there times that I was doing things that's like, this isn't the right thing? You shouldn't do this? Yes. So does that technically make them mistakes? Okay. I could do that to myself. But if I want to be the very best me, then I've got to get in right relationship with myself first and bring out the very best of me. And to do that, I've got to let all of that go and forgive it. I've got to forgive it. If I want to be in high vibration and have a different life, then I've got to embody that life myself. That is my true self-care. It's not putting up a bunch of boundaries and barriers It's not going within and saying, it's going to be this way, or I'm not going to participate in it, I'm not going to be a part of it, I'm not going to let it near me because I'm taking care of me. Well, you're taking care of you, all right. You're isolated. Been there, done that too. Been there, done that too. And you know what you attract to yourself when you isolate yourself? Whatever frame of mind you're in when you're isolated. And we are not meant to be isolated. We are energetic beings that are always in relationship to each other. So yes, there are times to isolate yourself, go within, not distract, but go within and figure out, what do I want to feel, be, and experience? Let me get in touch with the heart space here in my gut and let them tell me, oh yeah, I see that. Oh yeah, that does light me up. Mind, we can't have that. We can't do that. You know what? Shut up already. You aren't running this show. When I need you, I'll holler. Shh, be quiet. Right now, I'm in my heart space. Yeah, that lights me up too. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. That's like 20 things now. Well, that's better than being where I was at, but I can't have all 20 because I won't be able to show gratitude for all of those. So, which one really lights me up the most? What do I want to be? What do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? Oh, I got it now. I see the picture. I know what it is. This is where I'm putting my energy. Oh, and guess what? We didn't stop the world to do that because we're not Superman. And this isn't a movie. And we don't get to stop the planet. We did that while life was going on. So this is where I'm putting my energy. I'm sovereign over self, and this is what I've decided. Now, mind, let's talk about this. Do you see any red flags there? I see red flags everywhere. The whole thing's red flags. We've never done that before. We've done some of that before. That didn't work. What are you thinking? So-and-so did that, and okay, shh. Got to breathe, got to calm myself down, got to go back in. Okay, the mind made some valid points. What do you say, heart? The mind was right on 3% of that. Gut, what do you say? Well, I'd say 2%, but 3% if the heart says so. Okay, so what 3% did they have right? Oh, that. I see. Okay. And the mind is like, really? That's all I get? It's 3%? Yes, because you're programmed. You're a program, and you haven't been here yet where we're going. So you don't know. But we've consulted with you, and we thank you very much. And now do all the other wonderful stuff you're supposed to do for us, because you've got tons of stuff to do. And you notice I'm calling it the mind, or the dimension of the mind. I'm not calling it get out of your ego. Not because ego isn't the right word. That is definitely what I believe it was Freud named it. But here's the issue with that. The connotation of it, just like when you say spiritually awakened instead of energetically awakened, it turns some people off. But it doesn't matter that you're talking correct psychology when you talk about get out of your ego. What somebody else hears is, they're putting me down. They're saying I'm egotistical. They're saying I'm in my ego. They're saying I think highly of myself, too much of myself, that I'm all about me and not about it. Well, that's how you've been acting. But no, that's not what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to say, don't let the dimension of your mind overprotect you. Move on along your timeline. But that's what we do, is we get stuck like that. And then we feel bad physically. All the other things in our lives that are going great are affected. And we keep ourselves stuck there. And the other great things we could have, we don't have. And we're not living in great big capital letters. So the thing to do is to get that part of your life up in vibrational alignment too. I had a great career. I had a great education. I've had wonderful things in my life. So much of my life, in spite of me being in all of that stuff, I still managed to manifest an amazing life in many ways. Now, manifesting, what does that mean? I was in vibrational alignment, and I was attracting the stuff to me, and I prepared myself for receiving it by making the space for it and showing gratitude for it. And so I kept it in my life. But wait a second, some of it I kept by, well, I put all the energy into it and nobody else did. So it looked good. It felt right in some ways, but I was not happy, healthy, whole, and complete. I was killing myself doing that. I manifested all of it, but I was not being the very best of me. I wasn't bringing out the very best of me. I was killing myself to do it. So yeah, I was staying high vibrational. I was putting every ounce of energy I had into being high vibrational to keep that. And if I was having to do that, there was something wrong. Oh, wait, I wasn't in a positive energy loop. Yes, I had manifested some great stuff. I had attracted in and received, and I was putting gratitude into some things that on the outside looked great, but they were negative or energy deficit loops, not positive energy loops. And the second, that's what they turned into. If I'd been doing 1+1 = 3 relationships, I could have looked at that from an energetic standpoint and discussed it calmly from an energetic standpoint. Wait a minute, that means I had to be attracting the people into my lives that were high vibrational and thought that way too. Well, I wasn't. I had very few people in my life that thought that way. Although from the time I was a little girl, that's how I thought. But I had not manifested those people into my life because instead I coped. I accommodated. Now, some people would say, you mean you were codependent? No. That's another term that is blatantly just wrong. No. Energetically, I knew I was supposed to have certain things into my life. And so energetically, I was trying to maintain on my own a positive energy loop relationship in something that wasn't a relationship at all. Because I was putting all the energy into it and it was my energy coming back to me, and that was it. No other energy coming from it. Okay, so I got a paycheck at that one, but that wasn't enough to keep me lit up and going. That drained me. Okay, so I had some wonderful kids here. Yes, they were, but the other stuff drained me. Okay, so here I had, and there I got to, and here I got to, but it was just my energy going into it. And what I needed, what I knew in my total self-care and my true self-care and my sovereignty of self that I wanted to be, feel, and experience in life, the vibrational frequency I knew I wanted to be at, I was in that frequency all by myself and trying to maintain it all. And I became physically ill, emotionally ill, spiritually ill, mentally in chaos, stuck. And didn't get stuck the planet. Life was going along. And occasionally, great big capital letters, because I'm high vibrational. I'm going to be perky. I'm going to be me. Damn it, I'm going to do this. And so I'd drag myself up and I'd have those great big capital letter moments. I would have those. And then I was drained again from it because I was literally creating them from nothing, with nothing around me to help, or very little around me to help. I was using all of my energy to do it. So in the meantime, all these other places I was supposed to be plugged into, all these other things I was supposed to be attracting to me and helping others attract to them, because it's all one and we all have butterfly effect going on. I wasn't doing those things. So there was chaos in other people's lives because I don't know what I'm waiting on, but there's something supposed to be here and it's not here. And the control tower is trying the best they can to manage everything. But when all of us are doing this, well, the control tower can only do so much. Plus, the ones who are running the control tower, they're looking down going, this is a disaster. That's not what any of them signed up for. And look at them go. It's time they understood they're in energetic bodies and that they started practicing energy management. They became energetically aware. It's time. So they actually go down there and have the experiences they're going down there to have. And they actually know there's a control tower and that it's real and that it's not woo-woo. It's not imagination. It's real. And they understand it's all energy and this is how it works. Now, yes, some of us do recognize that energy is conscious, and therefore we recognize that these other dimensions are conscious, and we have personified them, the angelic realm. the ascended masters, whatever personification works for you, okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter to me. I know it's all energy, and I've got my own that I have been channeled and told. But whatever yours is, that's fine. It doesn't matter what name we put on it, what label we put on it. Just like there's no reason to label the past, but just to forgive it, release it, and get into the future. There is no reason for us to get hung up on labels in the here and now. So you don't have to be with somebody who has your exact same belief system. You just have to respect what they do believe and both be practicing energy management. That's it. You can be in a relationship with anyone. Your mailman can believe whatever he wants to believe. Mutual respect, energy management. Yeah. Your mom and dad, they can still believe whatever they want to believe. Mutual respect, energy management. Now, your kids, they can do the same thing. Your spouse can do the same thing. If you all are doing this, and that's how the world is supposed to work. So we can all bring out the very best of ourselves and each other. So is Twin Flame meant to do this? Absolutely. These relationships are high vibrational. These people light each other up like nothing has ever lit them up before. But are they happy, healthy, whole, and complete on their own? Yes. As much as anyone can be. They're happy, healthy, whole, and complete on their own at their level of consciousness at the moment. And there is nothing to judge about that. Because you yourself have been in different levels of consciousness and made decisions based upon that. And they just were what they were. And for you to move on down your timeline, you have to forget it, forgive it, release it. You don't try to what is the word they're using? Discreate it. We cannot uncreate things. That is when we're getting into universal law that does not work. The sacred geometry of that does not work. The quantum physics of that does not work. We transmute energies. We change negative energies into positive energies. We release things, but we don't discreate anything. And anyone who's telling you that, and they're saying, we're going to go to Akasha. Yeah, we're going to go to Akasha and we're going to discreate that. No, you run, because that person is talking about going against universal law. That does not work. That puts you in a mindset that is counterproductive to what you need to be doing. You don't need to discreate anything. That's going back to being in distraction mode. That's going back to allowing yourself to think that you can control something you can't. That's manipulating something that you have no control over. It's already happened. So don't use your energy thinking you can discreate something. You can't discreate anything, but you can transmute the energy of it. And if it became negative energy, you can identify that. Say, ooh, that's negative energy. That's lower vibrational energy. Negative, not because it's necessarily bad, but because it's not at the vibration you want to be at. So it's below it. So it's negative. Above, positive. Positive, negative. Okay? So I'm going to release that. I'm going to transmute that. I'm going to take my energy back. Whenever we're doing the meditations, because I have meditations for all this stuff, and as I call myself back to myself across all time, space, universe, dimensions, lifetimes, and incarnations, do you know what I'm calling back to me? My energy. I'm saying any energy I'm leaving back there on the past, I'm calling it back to me. That happened. It was real. But I'm not leaving my energy there anymore. I'm calling all that back to me for right here in the present. That energy that I left in that conversation that I had that lasted 2 hours, that brought me down and really I shouldn't have had even, I'm calling that energy back to me. I'm releasing that. I'm transmuting that energy. It went below the vibrational frequency that I want to be in. So I'm transmuting that energy. I'm calling it back to me and I'm pulling it up. I'm transmuting it. It's going from negative to positive. It happened. Can't discreate it. And to try to do so, look at it's kind of like Bruce Almighty. Have y'all seen the movie Bruce Almighty? When Bruce figures out that he's God or that he's equal to creation, that he's got creative power. that it's all one, and that when one does something, it affects the other. And he's like, oh, wow, I want to impress the girlfriend. There's the moon. I'm going to lasso it in and make it all really romantic and stuff. Well, the things he did to the oceans and this is by moving the moon, because everything is related. So you don't get to discreate anything. When you do that, you're upsetting the space-time continuum. So all this notion that we can go to Akasha and discreate things, no. And the universe isn't going to let you do it. So anyone selling you that, don't listen. Don't listen. Bear in a china shop. Yep, I'm coming right out and I'm saying it. Don't listen. That is not what Akasha is for. Akasha is for you to go and see what your past has been, so you can learn from it and figure out what to release. And so you can look at the options you've got now and understand, wow, this is reality of it. Now, how do I want to use my energy in it? What am I supposed to be attracting? Akasha is a place for you to go within and stop distracting yourself, but get back into center. Akasha is really a place for you to go and find you. Not a place for you to go and be told how to live your life. It's a place for you to go and find you. The record keepers there are only going to give you best and highest good. They're only going to give you what you are consciously awake enough, what you're energetically awake enough to get from them. And that's it. And you know what? If you're energetically awake enough to be practicing energy management and to make the decisions yourself, which we're all supposed to be at whatever conscious level we're at, do you know what they're going to tell you? What lights you up? What do you want? Okay, we'll give you some information about your past so you understand why you're where you are, so you can know what to release and heal, etc., etc. But no, we're record keepers. We're not here to tell you how to live your life. And we're certainly not here so you can figure out how to discreate something. This is a space, an energetic space that we are holding for you to come. Find out your vibrational frequency, find out where you're from, find out some things about you, maybe check into some contracts. But we are not here to tell you, do this, this, and this, go down that, do this, this, and this, and do that. And no, that's not what we're here to tell you for at all. We'll give you something about the moment in time you're talking about that will help you decide for you. That's what Akasha is. It is not the place where you go and you find out, what exactly am I supposed to do? How do I change all of this? Nope. It's a place for you to go and go within and be able to more clearly listen to your own intuition. It's a place, it's a space being held where you can transcend the mind, which is trying to stop you from doing the things that you're being lit up to do, or that's confusing you with its bad programming. It's to help you identify what is the bad programming that's in your way. You know what's lit you up. You don't need us to tell you what to do. Let's look at what's the bad programming in your way. Let's help you identify that so you can heal. That's what Akasha is for. So anyone who says they're going to take you there and fix your life and discreate some stuff, and no, do not listen, because the Akashic records are not meant for that. Never meant for that. Never will be meant for that. And the universe isn't really letting anybody use them for that. And that I know. I know. Because that has been channeled to me over and over and over. The records are a place for healing. So Akashic records, should you use them? Absolutely. I go to Akasha frequently. But Akasha is a place for healing. We are whole. We are one. The Akashic records are a record of everything of the whole. It's a record of all consciousness. Your individual record is there. It is when the individual here is having trouble doing what they came here to do, staying in their vibrational alignment. Akasha is the place to go to heal so you can come back and plug yourself in. That's what Akasha is. Is it the record of everything? Yes. But not so you can go there and find out what everything is and change something and magically know the answers. And no, it's a place for you to go and find out what is it you really need to heal. Because you know what lights you up. Let's get the brain out of the way. What do you need to heal? Now, what lights you up? Yeah, take that path. That's the one. Oh, wait, that lights you up too? Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you have enough gratitude space in your life? Do you have enough space in your life for that too? Really? Y'all aren't going to tell me whether to do it? No. What we're going to do is ask you, is there enough space in your life for that? Well, no, not really. I can get it, but I don't know that I can hold on to it, because that relationship, it's going to take some effort. It's a job. It's going to take a lot of my time. It's a person that deserves it deserves to be a positive energy loop. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to create a positive energy loop of that. I can attract it in. I can throw some energy that way for a bit, attract it in. But yeah, I can't create a positive energy loop. Well, okay, what do you need to release to do that? Is it something that no longer serves you back here that you need to release? Because, in another lifetime, we can tell you about this. This is an energetic DNA imprint that you have. Oh, I did that, did I? Mm-hmm. And you're doing it here too, because you haven't healed from it. Oh, okay. So how do I heal from that? Well, let's release it. Let's quantum leap it. Just forgive it all. Just forgive it all. Release it. Raise that vibrational frequency. Put your energy into the now, into what you want to be, feel, and experience. Do your energy management. Show up in the world the way you want to be treated. Treat yourself that way first. And then you're going to attract the people into your lives that are going to treat you that way, because you're treating them that way. Holy smokes. We just brought order to chaos. And we didn't just create anything. And it wasn't magical thinking or woo-woo. It's energy management. We are a collective. Akasha is the records that we can go to and get that kind of information from. And yes, it is time that somebody boldly came forward and said so. Because too many people are going to the Akashic records and don't know what the Akashic records are for. They're being told things that are not accurate. That's what Akasha is for. You're not going to go there and get, yeah, this is a list. Go do this. This is how it is. Yeah, we can just create that situation and fix that for you. Yeah, we can do that. No, they can't. We don't just create anything. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Energy just is. We are. And what it was is what it was. But the vibrational frequency of it, the fact that it is in your life an energy deficit, we can transmute that. And we can turn it into positive energy. Do you know how we do that? We let it go. We release it. We walk away from it. And we take all that energy and we call it back to ourselves from all time, space, universes, lifetimes, and dimensions, past, present, and future. And we put it right here into what we want to be calling into our lives, manifesting, attracting. And then we use that energy for the gratitude to keep the things we want to keep and to move on down along our timeline. And that is how you bring out the very best of you. That is your relationship with Akasha, with the collective, the whole collective, the conscious collective, the collective of the universe, the Akashic records, the universal records. You have an individual record. There's the record of the whole. We can all tap into the whole all the time. When your crown chakra starts tingling, those ideas that you get, and you're like, where did that come from? That's the collective giving you a download, saying, hey, try this. You're plugged into it. You're vibrationally aligned with it. You got the intuitive hit. Wow, where did I get that idea? That's a great idea. The mind's going to take credit for it, by the way. Yeah, we're smart. We are so smart. We knew that. Unless it goes wrong, and then the mind's going to say, well, you listened to your heart again, didn't you? Or you imagined that you heard this voice. No. If it went wrong, well, what's wrong? We learn from something from everything. So what's going wrong? Okay, it didn't work out the way you planned. Well, did you look at everything first? What was your energy management of the situation? What can you learn from that, and how can you move on and transmute whatever was an energy deficit of that and turn it into a positive energy loop? How do you make the very best of you out of that? Because that's what we're all here to do. First with ourselves, and then with all the relationships in our lives. Now, our significant others, they are, without a doubt, the most significant interpersonal relationship in our lives. We have our relationship with ourselves first and foremost, because we can't do any of this, folks, if we don't have the right relationship with ourselves. But you are not going to create a relationship with yourself that is totally self-sustaining, because we are all in relationship. Now, there may be some people who just aren't relationship people, that is not, but for the most part, all of us are meant to have a lot of strong relationships. The relationships with our jobs, that's supposed to light you up. So you don't spend all your time at work like, oh, I just can't wait to get out of here. I can't wait till this is over. I can't wait to do what I do every day. So I know I'm doing something that's right for me. I love what I do. You should too, whatever it is. And you're like, she realized I work in a factory. Put yourself into, how do I make the very best of me? Some people get lit up about working in a factory. Did you know that? Some people love everything about it. They'll get lit up and they'll tell you, and then the conveyor belt does that, and then this does that, and oh wow, and then we've got this system in place, and we do, and they are lit up about it. Those people belong there. And if you are there and you're going, oh God, I can't believe I work at this factory, you got yourself energetically in the wrong place. Now you may have to stay there until you figure it out, but don't go home and distract yourself. Sit down in front of the television, zone out, and forget everything, and tomorrow I'll get up and do it again. That's coping. Go within, go to the breath, find the calm space, get in touch with your intuition, with your heart space. What lights you up? Well, I really like growing things. I like farming. Well, no, I don't want to be a farmer, but I do like growing things. I like being outside. I like, what lights you up? And pretty soon you're going to figure it out, because your vibration is going to start coming up, and you're going to start attracting things to you. And the guides are going to be like, and the collective is going to be like, hey, how about this? Because you're raising your vibration up, and you're attracting that to you. You're making you the very best you can be. So that's your relationship with yourself. Now, most of us are meant to be in relationship with someone else, where we're now all creating a new dimension of relationship that is high vibrational too. So we are expanding consciousness in a whole new way. We are literally creating a whole new dimension. It's the relationship that is healthy, happy, whole, and complete, because we are, and we are working it energetically to keep it that way. And that's what consciousness wants. Because when we do that, we go from chaos to order. That is how we bring each of our individual lives into the vibrational frequency it needs to be. And that's how we correct the vibrational frequency of the human collective. You become the very best you. You get into the relationships that bring out the very best of you by getting yourself into vibrational alignment to do that. And we turn everything in the world around. And that's what all of this is about. It's not just about you. It's about the whole world. We've each got the whole world in our hands. And it's not magical. It's not religious. It's energy. It's energy. So we each need to get over ourselves. Get over what you did. Get over what happened to you. Now, am I saying that doesn't matter? Am I saying it's easy? No. I'm not belittling any of it. I'm just saying, when you take the bird's eye view, when you get up in the control tower and you look down, wow, the whole world, not just me, but the whole world could function better. My kids could function better. Work over there would function a lot better when I get out of there, because I don't belong there. I bring the whole vibration of that place down. Everything's going to work better when I do this. Wow, I need to get over myself and do it. Get over yourself in a good way. Get over yourself in a way that brings you high vibrational. So I'm not putting you down. I'm telling you, release it, heal from it, quantum leap that, And if we do it in relationship, and that's what twin flame is about. Twin flame are meant to do this together because if they will use the fact that they mirror one another to do this, they're showing the world, you know what? We could take another whole generation to make the world a better place, or we could all start by doing our own energetic true self-care. And then we could find that person that lights us up like no one else, and then we can use that, and we can do that together, and we can form this whole new dimension of relationship, and we can change everything. And that makes us joy bringers, because joy is high vibrational. We are literally lifting the vibration of the planet. We are bringing the planet joy, order out of chaos. And we're doing it for ourselves at the same time. You bring out the very best of me. Every relationship we have should be doing that, and we should be doing that back for them. Positive energy loops. And if you look at yourself and you say, I'm not ready for that yet, I'm not healed enough for that yet, I can't do that yet, I can't be a part of that. Well, guess what? You are. And you can isolate yourself all you want to. And are there times we need to take time for ourselves and go within and figure all of this out for ourselves? Sure. And even while you're doing it, there are times you need to do that. Matter of fact, you need to do a little of it every day to be sure you stay in this mode. But you can't stop the planet. It's not going to stop turning for you to do this. You have to do this in real time. So whatever level of consciousness you're at right now, look at that. Do what you know to do. Get into the relationships with yourself and with others that bring out the very best of you, that put you in higher and higher vibrational alignments all the time, that find the right frequency that is you. So your life is lit up and you become healthy, happy, whole, and complete. And that's what you're in relationship with. And the world becomes that way. Now, is it ever going to be perfect? I don't know if we ever get to utopia or not. They haven't channeled that to me. But the control tower can do a whole lot more for us when there's not as much chaos down here. It's going to be a whole lot easier when we're all doing energetic management, when we're all doing energy management, and when we're all creating positive energy loops that bring out the very best of us. Because that's what motivates us to do it anyway. How do I want to be treated? What do I want my life to be? Well, I got to do that for myself. But then to attract that in, I not only have to show up in the world that way myself, but that's the energy I have to be putting back to. And then everything I attract to me, I don't catch all of it. I catch the things that light me up the most, that energetically align with me, that I know that's going to keep lighting me up. And I can continue to put the gratitude, I can create the positive energy loop there. Oh, no, you can't. You tried relationships before, that didn't work. That was a disaster. You put all the energy into it. She was demanding. She drained you. It took everything. Oh boy, was he a narcissist. Remember that. He gaslighted you all the time. He did this, he did that. We're in vibrational alignment now, but we better steer clear of all of that. No. That's when you were in a different vibration. You're not in that vibration anymore. You're going to be in the relationships that bring out the very best of you, because you now know energy management and you know how the universe really works. And you know that whatever spiritual assignment or lack thereof that you connect with all of this doesn't matter. Mutual respect means it doesn't matter. If some people see this as, well, the galactics are involved and it's sci-fi-ish and all that, okay. I channel galactics, so I believe you. But if somebody else says, I can't get my head around that, okay, you don't have to. We're made of energy, and it's all about energy, and I respect whatever you believe, because that's the level of consciousness you're at, and this is the level of consciousness I'm at, and that's what we're aware of now. And so it is so, and so it is, and so it shall be. Peace to you. And then you go on your way. There's no reason for an argument. There's no reason to convince that person. There's no reason to change that person's mind. And guess what? The next time you see them, you can all have a great time together. As long as you're bringing out the very best of each other, as long as you're in energetic alignment, as long as that all fits. And if it doesn't, then okay, then that's not supposed to be in my life. Well, boy, I've got to badmouth them to everybody, tell the world. No, that's going to lower your energy. You just release it. And you're in touch with them if you have to be in touch with them, if you need to be in touch with them, if something, but if not, then don't be. But that's all. It's not a big drama thing. That's going to bring you down vibrationally. You see, every time you let it become a big drama and you ruminate about it or you talk about it to everybody and their brother and et cetera, and you won't let it go, you're lowering your vibrational frequency. And that includes the twin flame stuff. All people on twin flame journeys, all people with any relationship issues. But twin flame, your job is a relationship issue. Your relationship with a mailman isn't going right. Your relationship with an insurance company isn't going right. Your relationship with your best friend isn't going right. Any of these things. Believe me, been there, done that, bear in the china shop. So I'm talking to the choir here, okay? You can put your energy into staying in that energy of this is how it is. Or you can maybe talk it through with somebody to get some insight. Okay, I did that. Now I don't need to talk it through with 60 people and get 60 different insights. I just need to have that person that brings out the very best of me. And maybe they can help me with it. But they don't tell you what to do. No. Then you're like, okay, I got some insight. Now let me go back to my breath. Let me go within. Okay, brain, what do we know about this? This is my 2 cents. No. I want 10 cents from you. What? Really? Hot damn. You mean I really get to do my job and protect you here? No, not necessarily, but I want to know what you got. Oh, okay. Well, this is what I got. I'm giving you a quarter's worth. No, I'll take 15 cents. Oh, okay. That's a good compromise. So you take that and you're like, okay, I got it. Shh. Done your job now. Heart space, gut, what have you got? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right. The brain's like, no, shh, you had your time. Okay, we got that. Then back up to the brain. Brain, no, what was it you wanted to say? Well, these are my objections. Okay, don't give me 10. Give me the top 2. Oh, just the top 2. Well, my top one is that you didn't listen to me. You listened to your heart and your gut. Well, I'm going to throw that one out because I'm wasting my time with that one. I want another chance. Here's my 2 right here. And then they give it to you. Oh, okay. What do y'all think? Nah, brains are way off on this. Okay, well, I'm going to give it's 1% right on that. Oh, okay. So we tweak this a little bit. We dial ourselves back a little. Well, they're 50% right on that one. Oh, so we dial ourselves, our excitement about that back up 50%. Okay. All right. Now let me see. How's that feel? Oh, yeah. It feels good. It's bringing out the very best in me. I'm in energetic alignment here. Is that how I want to be treated? Yeah. So that's how I want to show up in the world. So I got to do that for myself. Okay, I'm living that now. I've pulled my energy. I've transmuted. I've got my energy here. I got a clear vision of it. That's where my energy is going now. Oh yeah, now I'm attracting that into my life. Wow, didn't even have to stop the planet. I can still go have dinner with all my friends and I can love my wife still. Yeah, hot damn, this stuff works. So, yes, you meet someone, they light you up. They're not there to be the rest of you. No one can complete you. Only you can do that. And we're never all happy, healthy, whole, and complete entirely. It's a journey. Everything is in flux all the time. It's energy. And everything going on around you affects it. So the more we all do this, the less chaos we have and the more order we have and the closer we all get to it as a collective. But you met that person or you got that job or whatever it is. They're not meant to complete you. the test for you, if there is one, because there's not. We're not here to be tested. We're here to know how to do this energetically so we can quantum leap the things that aren't serving us anymore, and we can get ourselves into the things that do, including the bad programming, the past traumas, the situations that no longer serve. We're here to quantum leap all that. And everything that we're to get ourselves into are to be positive energy loops that do not test us, because we're not being tested. They do not complete us. No one's the rest of you. No job is the rest of you. I can do so many things. Do you know how many things light me up? I'm a singer, songwriter, musician. I'm a writer. I'm an author. I'm a poet. I love doing this. Do you know how many things I love? I could, if this tomorrow no longer fit energetically with the rest of my life and being the very best of me, I can do that. And my world has not ended, because I am whole and complete without this. Now, does this light me up? Yes, it does. But I am whole and complete. And my relationship with this is in another dimension. And if I need to do something else, there's a lot of me here, happy, healthy, whole, and complete, and I can do something else. I can be lit up by lots of things, and I can start attracting that in. I can change my vibrational frequency. I can say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to go to this. I'm dialing my knob on my frequency. Now I'm attracting that in, and I can be lit up, and I can be the very best of me in that too, because that's the relationships I'm going to get in. I'm going to get into that relationship with myself, and that's called change. That's called don't be attached to an outcome. We can't get attached to outcomes because of butterfly effect, because everybody is flowing, because of all of this. So we have to be, and wait, the planet is moving, the world keeps turning, the timeline keeps going. So we really can't get attached to any outcome anyway. But the things that really do matter to us, the things that do light us up, and we see they're always going to light us up, and they're always going to feed a positive energy loop and bring out the very best of us. We can keep those in our lives by continuing to put energy into them. Gratitude. Give it to yourself first. And then what you want to attract into your life, give it to that. And then those things will bring out the very best of you. And this will create a positive energy loop that will make you exponentially more successful and abundant. You will have happy, healthy, whole, and complete in all areas of your life. Perfect? No. Because we're flawed. But we know how to do that because we're doing energy management. So no relationship, twin flame, as beautiful as it is, as important as it is, as meaningful as it is, as much as I want every one of you who are twin flame to get with your twin, and I will support you 100% of that and help you do the healing to do that. I want that for all of you more than I can say. I want it for the planet more than I can say, but I want it for all of you, each of you. So you have the very best of you. But this is every relationship. If your twin flame isn't going along with things right now, if they're consciously at that place, you can still have all of this. Is it going to be the same? No. I'm not going to tell you it is. The butterfly effect, they're not where they're supposed to be energetically. So the butterfly effect is going to affect you. But you are whole and complete in and of yourself. You can step back and say, okay, you got to change tracks here. They're not in alignment. I got to change tracks here. How do I be happy, healthy, whole, and complete? What brings out the very best of me other than me? What do I do now? What? Oh, wait, that lights me up. That lights me up. And it may not be another relationship. Just because a relationship not working is what you're now dealing with doesn't mean you go into another relationship to fix that. As a matter of fact, it doesn't work that way. It's not like when you lose a job and you need an income, so you get another job. Interpersonal relationships are much different. You don't run out and find another relationship. But you do go ahead and make yourself happy, healthy, whole, and complete, and be the very best you can be. And you look at that relationship and all the things that you can take from it, that you can turn into positive energy, that you can transmute, and you forget and forgive the rest. Release it. I didn't say discreate it, you release it. But you transmute everything you can into positive energy. You bring it here and into the now. And you be the very best you that you can be. And that relationship did it too. Because now I see that the test for me was not that you completed me, but you bring out the very best of me. Now, would I prefer that in union? Twin flame, not twin flame, unemployed, want to be employed, not talking to the kids, want the kids to talk to me, not getting along with my pet, but want to get along with my pet. Yeah, I'd prefer it all in union. But whatever level of consciousness I'm dealing with, I understand it and I don't judge it. I respect it. But this is me and this is the vibrational frequency I'm going to show up in so I can be, feel, and experience my heaven on earth. So I'm putting myself in my vibrational alignment in spite of it. I'm going to be the very best me and have a beautiful life regardless. So thank you for how you contributed to that. But all the parts of it that aren't contributing now, I release. No judgment. No good guy, bad guy. I just release them. Now, hopefully, at some point, consciousness will arise, awareness will arise. And you're going along being in your vibrational you, the way you're supposed to be, as happy, healthy, whole, and complete as we can ever be, because no one ever is totally that. And out there in your energy field, coming towards you, it just may be your twin flame, because they're there too now. And if it's not, well, maybe down the line. But don't attach yourself to an outcome, because you don't control that. Don't attach yourself to an outcome with anything you don't control. All you control is you. And the only chance in Hades you've got of making all of that, any of those things work out in positive energy loops, is putting yourself into that place first. No one completes us and makes us the rest of who we're supposed to be. The test for all of us is to figure out, if there is a test, that all of this is to bring out the very best of us. And truly, it is so each of us have heaven on earth. But this is how we make from chaos in this whole planet to order. And we do it by doing it for ourselves. So I'm going to take us out with the song. I know this was long. I know it's a lot. But for those of you who stuck it out, I'm glad you did. And I might break it up into sections. I don't know. But it's all stuff that needs to be told. And I'm a bear in a china shop and proud of it. That's what I'm here to do. At least for now. For now, this brings out the very best of me. What's down the line? Let's see what I'm attracting in. Let's see what I can be grateful for. Let's see what will keep bringing out the very best of me. Let's see what positive energy loops I can create. And for all the relationships, everything that has happened to me, I'm grateful. Thank you for bringing out the very best of me, because I have decided to take sovereignty over all of it. Call my energy back to myself. It's positive. I've transmuted any of the low vibrations, and I'm in vibrational alignment with me. Let's all do that. As long as we're breathing, I want us all living in great big capital letters, so everyone can live in great big capital letters, and the world can love in great big capital letters. All because of the very best of you.
just perfect for me. Not because you're the rest of me, but because you bring out the very best in me. When I first laid eyes on you, it was a crash that derailed my heart. Knowing I belong with you, well, it was obvious right from the start. But the how and when and why had surely eluded me. 'Cause the answers were not common like you, like us. They were extraordinary. Now I see that the test for me was to learn that you're just perfect for me. Not because you're the rest of me, but because you bring out the very best of me. Yes, now I see that the test for me was to learn that you're just perfect for me. Not because you're the rest of me, but because you bring out 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 the very best, the very best of me.